Another day, another Jezebel. That's just the way it is on this semen retention journey once you get far enough along. I would say anywhere beyond 2 weeks to a month, that would be the determining factor of how encountering Jezebels are going to become a banality of some kind. And that's just the way that it is. So I want to welcome everybody to the Semen Retention Sunday episode here on the Regal channel. Whether you're watching from X or YouTube or whatever, wherever you are, wherever you come from, welcome. And so this Semen Retention Sunday episode, I want to talk about how the Jezebels are rampant and nearly everybody in this world is evil. And you'll begin to realize that when you are on retention, because if you have the intention to grow closer to God when you're on retention, then you're automatically going to be able to see things as they are a bit more clearly. Everything's going to be a little bit brighter, and even though you might be seeing through the darkness of the reality, it's almost like the more you look at the darkness and the more that you become accustomed to the darkness, the more you can illuminate the light just by being who you are. You are the illuminating light that is as well. And specifically because you're on retention, you have a lot more energy, and people are going to notice this, especially the evil people. And whether you're male or female that are not following God's laws, statutes, and commandments, they're going to notice you. Whether you are male or female practicing celibacy or purification or purity in regard to your sexual discipline, this is always going to be something that is going to be noticeable to anybody, especially people that are evil. And in this world, in this day and age, the way that I see it, some people like to think, oh, it's not so black and white, but it kind of is. It kind of is. You're either on God's side or you're not. Like, it's God's side and it's everybody else. That's it. And so if you're on God's side, then you're going to be seeing things pretty dang clearly. And you'll get to the point to where Jezebels are going to become pretty much a daily occurrence, because in this day and age, you can't really throw a rock without seeing a Jezebel anymore, or hitting a Jezebel. Like, it is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And I've gotten to the point now to where if I see a Jezebel out and about, how do I determine if this is a Jezebel? Well, you can determine based off of how, number one, how she's dressed, how modest she is. Is she following in the footsteps of modesty or not? And I don't really care about like a tank top or anything like that, but if you're showing your midriff, or if you are wearing an open back and you're like going to the store or you're going to the gym or whatever, I don't think that's acceptable personally. I understand that if you're doing a really hard workout or something, you want to wear a tank top, or you want to wear like shorts or something like that to ensure that you're not going to get too hot or whatever. But the whole skin tight stuff where you can see the vagina, the pink palace, I was going to be a little bit prude there, but I decided to just go all in. So the pink palace, let's say, I mean, because this was what was happening at the gym this morning, and this is one of the reasons I want to talk about this, was because these women were talking about how they wore the wrong outfit to the gym today. Just thinking about it kind of makes me laugh, because they were hyping each other up. These Jezebels were hyping each other up. 20 to 30-year-old, maybe even 20 to 50-year-old women. Some of them looked that old, but some of these Jezebels, you can't really tell their age because of all the Botox and because of all the plastic surgery and stuff. So I don't really know how old they are, but seemingly they were anywhere between the ages of 20 to 50 years old. And they were hyping each other up. They were, oh, you go, girl. That guy doesn't know what he's missing. Don't sweat that guy. Or y'all are hot today, sister. Like, you stay. You go, girl. You stick with it. And that's fine. There's nothing really wrong with hyping up your sisters per se, but to encourage people to act like promiscuous prostitutes, and then following that conversation, they start to talk about how, you're so hot, but like you might be showing a little bit too much of a JJ. That is literally a quote from one of these women. So it was fine up until they get to that, like, because any man that really knows women knows that they'll talk about anything. And so you're going to encounter this kind of talk out and about, apparently pretty often, because at least, and I live in a pretty conservative place here in northern Utah, and it's still happening. Like, this kind of stuff is still talked about. So there's not a lot of discretion in public anymore either. These women are full on letting everything be revealed, everything talked about. They have no shame about it either, because it's like they all think they're tens, man. They all think they're tens. It's really ridiculous. And to meet a woman that is actually quiet in strength, she has strength and quiet rather, and she is cooperative. She doesn't talk too much. She might have an extra piercing or two that may not be, applicable and whatnot, but hey, you know what? At least she's cooperative. She doesn't have a lot of tattoos, and she's trying to be there for you and supportive. That's going to be at least someone you can work with, maybe. I still wouldn't recommend it because of the extra piercings. Spiritually, it indicates a certain kind of behavior going on, but most of the women out here that I see, even in a conservative place, are acting like this. Okay, I've gotten some people that think that if you go to a conservative place that I know, they're thinking if you go to a conservative place, it's going to be a lot better. They just know how to hide it better, ladies and gentlemen. They just know how to hide it. A lot of people are just as perverted in some places than others. They just know how to hide it better. And you've got to be mindful of that on this journey, because otherwise you're going to fall into temptation and you're going to be thinking lustful thoughts, because that kind of behavior, to the point now for me, it's almost like when I say another day, another Jezebel, it literally is not even fazing me at this point. Like, I hear those conversations and I think to myself, yep, another day and another Jezebel. Because I can't save these women. I can't go up to them and show them how they are talking about things wrongly, because their ears are not receptive. They do not want to be received in any regard of correction. They do not want to receive correction. That's what I'm trying to say here. They don't want to receive correction because they want to continue to live their life. And you have these 30 to 40, 50-year-old women influencing these young 20-year-old girls in our own towns, in our own communities, about looking hot and being promiscuous, acting like a slut. Like, this is our community now, apparently, even in the conservative places. And it doesn't get any better, because now's the time when all of the holidays start rolling in, so all of the demonic energies pouring in. I really don't like this time of year. Sometimes I don't mind the winter itself and the fall. I really enjoy the fall and the changing of seasons. It's gotten a bit cooler, so that's nice. I can be out here and not sweat my butt off, and I can be in the shade and really relax and just enjoy the moment and enjoy the peace and serenity that semen retention gives you in some ways. And it's not just semen retention. Obviously, you've got to do things with it, but you've got to do things with the energy. But it's very nice. It's very relaxing time. And until you go out into the public and you realize how much demonic activity is out there. People got their Halloween stuff up now. You see babies like hanging in the trees with blood dripping down, thinking that it's funny, I guess. I don't. It's one of the decorations I saw, and I thought to myself, how do people not see that this is just straight up demonic? Like, this, I've never really enjoyed Halloween personally. I made a video about this last year, but I've never really enjoyed Halloween. I always kind of felt uneasy around it, but ever since I learned that it was a pagan holiday and I don't have to celebrate it, and I don't have to celebrate Thanksgiving, and I don't have to celebrate Christmas either, because those are the main holidays that come about, I had a lot more relief because I followed Jesus, and the only kind of holidays I'm going to be celebrating are biblical holidays and any kind of personal holiday or dates that are going to be important to me. Otherwise, I'm not about it, because it's all pagan and it's all disgusting, demonic behavior come rolling in. It sows division. It sows really evil spirits. Like, think about this. Think about Halloween, right? A lot of women use it as an excuse because they get to dress slutty and have nobody judge them that day. God's judging you. Okay, you better believe that. God's judging you. So you got to be careful about this kind of thing. And around this time of year, you got to be highly mindful of any kind of demonic attacks in your dreams with semen retention, because now is going to be the time where the demonic energy is ramping up spiritually, and it's going to be trying to pull you down into that lower world, or into the shadow kingdom, as I call it. And it's going to be a spiritual battle internally for you, because you are trying to ascend to the kingdom of heaven and get that higher vibration and stay out of the lower vibration. And they're going to do everything they can. These demons are going to do everything they can to make sure that you stay down during this time, that you're being tempted during this time. That even thinking about this conversation at the gym, how is this normal? How is it normal that our women are openly talking about vajayjays out in public? And I get it, like, the gym is probably a step above the bathroom in regard to societal like, in regard to the societal hierarchy. Like, maybe a store, maybe a church is going to be more professional or cordial, or whatever you could say, because at the gym there's a sexual undertone with almost everything, and in the bathroom it's just pure. There's a, how would you say, there's a heuristic of that dictates a mode of uncleanliness. And in the gym it's a kind of a similar thing, because everybody's sweating and all of that. But either way, guys, you just got to be careful, and you've got to lead by example. And one of those examples is going to be by how you maintain yourself during these times of trials and tribulations. So with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. Be mindful of all these evil people out here, because it is ridiculous. Remember, you're on God's side or you're not. It kind of is that black and white, okay? So keep that in mind going forward. I want to take the time to appreciate everybody that's moved over to the X and Rumble platform, people messaging me in my DMs on Instagram as well. Appreciate the support. Anybody that wants to join the free Regal Change Academy, you can check out the Discord channel in the description box below. You've got free resources there. You've got a bunch of different things that you can check out to help you grow closer to God, improve your fitness, strengthen the relationships, etc. And then we've got the paid Regal Change Academy on school. Link is in the description box below as well for that. And that is going to incorporate the same kind of things that we're doing in the Discord channel, but far more intensive, and we're adding group calls to it as well. So with all that being said, peace be with you. Till next time.